Hey guys, welcome back to Tianshi Recaps. Things are about to get even crazier in from Season 3. If you haven't watched the previous seasons yet, don't worry. I've already given the links in the description, so go watch them first, because the story is about to get even more insane from here. Alright, now, let's start Season 3. A nurse informs Tabitha that the police are coming to question her, so before they arrive, she quickly escapes from the hospital. Confused and scared, she borrows a phone on the way and finally calls her mother, who breaks down in relief hearing that her daughter is somehow alive. But Tabitha herself has no idea where to go now. Later, inside a church, she opens Victor's lunchbox that he gave her before she entered the hollow tree. Inside, she finds Victor's home address. Tabitha goes there and meets Victor's father, who is completely shocked seeing Victor's lunchbox after all these years. Back in the village, Julie and Ethan are devastated after losing Tabitha. Unable to sit quietly, Jim goes into the forest searching for his wife, and Kenny joins him. During the journey, they discover a hidden settlement nobody had seen before and stay there for the night. Meanwhile, Donna realizes all the crops in Colony House have rotted, and even the land has become poison. The villagers understand the farm animals are now their only food source, and they may survive only 3 more months with them. But that same night, the ghosts release all the animals into the streets. Boyd rushes outside to save them because they are the only food left, and others follow him to help. At the same time, Ethan opens the door trying to save a goat, but a ghost is already standing outside. The ghost starts chasing Ethan and Julie until Sarah suddenly rescues them by hiding them inside Randall's bus. Outside, the ghosts brutally kill one of the cows while everyone runs back for safety. Boyd and Kenny's mother quickly lock themselves inside the barn and place the talisman on the door. For a moment, they think they're safe until they realize the ghosts were already inside the barn before the talisman was placed. The ghosts tie Boyd down and force him to watch as they brutally torture and kill Kenny's mother right in front of him. The next morning, Jim and Kenny are shocked to find fresh vegetables growing near the hidden settlement without being rotten. Happy and relieved, they collect everything because the food is enough for at least 1 month and could solve the town's food shortage for now. Meanwhile, Tabitha explains everything about the ghost village to Victor's father, Henry, but he refuses to believe her. Instead, he points a gun at her and demands to know how she got Victor's lunchbox. Finally, Tabitha mentions the strange children she saw in the village. Hearing that shocks Henry because Victor's mother Miranda used to talk about the same children before she disappeared. He immediately takes Tabitha to the basement where she is stunned to see the walls covered with drawings of the exact things she saw inside the village. All those drawings were made by Miranda years ago. Jim and Kenny happily return with the vegetables, but the mood in town is completely different. Everyone is mourning Kenny's mother's death. Kenny breaks down after hearing what happened to her, and the village holds a funeral for her. After the funeral, something even stranger happens. For the first time in years, snow starts falling in the village. Later, Jim suddenly hears the house phone ringing even though there is no phone connection in the village. When he answers it, he is horrified to hear the voice of his dead infant son, Thomas. The voice tells Jim that he never truly loved Tabitha, and that's why he left her alone and lost her. Then Thomas says Julie and Ethan are alone at the farm and night is already coming. Terrified, Jim runs there immediately and finds both kids exactly where the voice said they would be. He quickly brings them home safely. At the same time, Kenny, Christy, Jade, and a few villagers go to the hidden settlement to collect the vegetables. While exploring the area, Jade notices strange stick dolls hanging everywhere. Suddenly, he sees a horrifying vision of a man pinned to a tree with one eye. Terrified, Jade tries running back to town, but Christy stops him because it will become night before he can reach the village. During the struggle, Christy accidentally gets caught in an animal trap, badly injuring her leg. After hours of effort, they finally free her, but her leg is broken, and since it's already evening, they are forced to stay there for the night. Back at Colony House, pregnant Fatima secretly starts eating the rotten vegetables without anyone noticing. An old lady catches her and calmly says strange cravings are normal during pregnancy, admitting that she herself once used to secretly lick eggshells while pregnant. Meanwhile, Tabitha hears the sound of bottles clinking in the wind exactly like she heard back in the village. She follows the sound and discovers bottles hanging from a tree outside. Henry explains that Victor's mother Miranda used to make these bottle trees, but the original one is in a nearby park. So Tabitha and Henry immediately drive there together. On the way, Tabitha notices a bracelet in the car that looks exactly like the one she once made for Jim. But Henry says Miranda made many bracelets exactly like this. Hearing that completely terrifies Tabitha, making her think she may still somehow be trapped in the village and stuck inside a loop. Panicking, she begs Henry to stop the car, but he refuses because he still wants to find Victor. Suddenly, they get into a terrible accident and both lose consciousness. When Tabitha wakes up, she realizes she is inside an ambulance. Confused, she looks outside the window and freezes in horror after seeing a fallen tree blocking the middle of the road. Later, the phone rings again inside Jim's house. This time, Ethan picks it up, and once again, it is the voice of Thomas. The voice tells Ethan that their mother is coming back in an ambulance and that she needs their help. When Jim returns, Ethan tells him everything Thomas said, leaving Jim completely disturbed. Meanwhile, Boyd stays inside the bus, with Randall hoping to secretly watch where the ghosts go during daytime. At that moment, the ambulance carrying Tabitha suddenly speeds past the road toward the village. On the way, the ambulance crew notices a wounded person lying on the road. They stop to help, but Tabitha immediately begs them not to go outside because she already knows it's a trap. Nobody listens to her. A police officer named Acosta handcuffs Tabitha inside the ambulance and steps out to check the body. Suddenly, the injured person wakes up. It's a ghost. Within seconds, it brutally kills 2 ambulance workers. Terrified, Acosta runs toward Colony House while blindly shooting in every direction. One of the bullets accidentally hits a Colony House resident, killing her instantly. At the same time, Boyd and Randall try to rescue Tabitha from the ambulance, but before they can escape, the ghosts grab Randall. Then something even creepier happens. One of the ghosts calmly hands Boyd the ambulance keys and tells him one is enough. Boyd realizes the ghosts are intentionally letting him escape while keeping Randall behind. With no other choice, Boyd drives away, with Tabitha leaving Randall trapped to the ghost. Back at Colony House, Fatima secretly enters the room where the dead girl's body has been kept. Slowly, she bends down and begins licking and eating the blood from the corpse. A little later, Boyd and Donna hear a strange sound outside. When they look through the window, they are horrified to see Randall tied to the ambulance. His body is brutally wounded and covered in blood, but somehow he is still alive. Randall is taken to the clinic and treated for his horrific injuries, while the villagers who went to collect vegetables finally return safely to town. Soon, everyone learns that Tabitha has somehow returned from outside the village. A meeting is held, but instead of being happy, many people become angry at Tabitha. They blame her for wasting the chance to save everyone, believing she should have done something to help them escape too. Hearing all this, Tabitha gets frustrated and walks away from the meeting. Meanwhile, one desperate villager decides to escape on his own by entering the hollow tree. But things go horribly wrong. Instead of escaping, he ends up stuck halfway inside the wall of the swimming pool and dies brutally. Seeing this, Boyd angrily warns everyone that this is exactly what happens when they blindly try to escape. At the same time, Fatima becomes terrified and confused because something about her pregnancy feels completely wrong. Boyd tells her to come to the clinic for a proper checkup. Nearby, Elgin takes a photograph, but when he looks at the picture, he is horrified to see the same ghost woman who once tried drowning him in the bathtub. Suddenly, the ghost appears near him and whispers that if he helps her, she will help everyone leave the village. Meanwhile, at the clinic, Christy uses the ultrasound machine from the ambulance to check Fatima's stomach. But the scan shows something impossible. There is no baby inside her at all. Still, Fatima can clearly feel something moving inside her body. Elsewhere, Jade shows Tabitha the drawings he made of the strange settlement. Tabitha becomes shocked because she recognizes the place from nightmares she used to have as a child. Just like Victor's mother, Miranda, Tabitha realizes she had been seeing visions of this village long before she ever arrived there. Elgin's camera suddenly starts taking photos by itself. When he checks one of the pictures, he is shocked. He secretly goes to an old cellar far away from town where he discovers a human skeleton lying inside. Meanwhile, at the clinic, Fatima suddenly feels something violently moving inside her stomach. Her stomach unnaturally shrinks inward, and she screams in pain. But the moment Ellis enters the room, everything suddenly looks normal again. Later, Fatima secretly goes outside and starts eating rotten vegetables again. The same old lady notices her and tries comforting her gently. But suddenly Fatima loses control and stabs the old woman with a gardening tool, killing her instantly. Shocked and terrified, Ellis and Boyd quickly arrive there and secretly move Fatima to a hidden cabin before anyone in town discovers what happened. After that, Boyd pretends to be surprised when the villagers find the old lady dead. At the same time, Julie takes Ethan to the mysterious ruins where Boyd once got trapped. She says she felt something strange there when she visited before with Randall and wants to understand what it is. The moment Julie enters the ruins, she suddenly reaches the same strange dungeon where Boyd was trapped earlier. There she first sees Randall, Marielle, and herself chained to the walls exactly like Boyd saw before. Then suddenly they disappear and the chained old man appears instead. He tells Julie to throw a rope down into the well. Julie does it, and this finally reveals how Boyd actually escaped the well back in season 2. If you remember that scene now, we finally know who threw the rope to him. The old man then warns Julie to escape quickly before vanishing too. Julie runs through a door and suddenly ends up inside the underground cave where Victor and Tabitha once escaped in season 2. Back in reality, Julie's body starts shaking violently near the ruins. Ethan gets terrified and quickly brings Kenny and Danny for help. They try carrying Julie to the clinic, but the moment she leaves the ruins, she suddenly wakes up and returns to normal. Meanwhile, Victor finally begins remembering the truth about what happened when everyone in the town died years ago. 2 days before the massacre, when Victor was still a little boy, he saw the boy in white secretly telling Christopher something important. According to Victor, the boy in white said that the end of everything is hidden at the very beginning of the story itself. Long ago, after listening to someone's words, the parents in this town sacrificed their own children. Those children were born in darkness and died in darkness. And because of that horrifying event, the hollow tree is created. The boy in white believed that if someone went through the tree the right way, it could finally end this nightmare forever. But Christopher never believed him. Victor says he later told all of this to his mother Miranda, and that is the reason she left Victor and his sister alone that night and went through the hollow tree hoping to save the children. While explaining all this to Sarah and Tabitha, Victor completely breaks down and starts crying. Elgin secretly finds Fatima and lies to her that Ellis sent him to bring her somewhere safe. Trusting him, Fatima follows Elgin into the cellar. But once inside, Elgin traps her behind a hidden door. Meanwhile, Boyd and Ellis become worried after realizing Fatima is missing. That's when Sarah suddenly tells them that the ghost spoke to her again. According to them, Fatima did not leave on her own. Someone kidnapped her. Sarah also warns that they can't find her before the child is born. Hearing this, Boyd gathers everyone in town and starts a desperate search for Fatima. Elgin acts innocent and pretends he knows nothing, but while talking to Ellis, his strange behavior makes Ellis suspicious of him. At the same time, Tabitha suddenly sees one of the sacrificed children again. Julie and Tabitha follow the child through the town, but the child disappears near the cellar where Fatima is trapped. Tabitha enters the cellar and finds Victor sitting there crying. He tells her this was the last place where his mother Miranda left him and his sister. Tabitha hugs Victor and tries to comfort him, but at that moment, Tabitha suddenly gets horrifying flashes of what truly happened that night. She sees Miranda leaving Victor and his sister safely behind and running toward the hollow tree. But before Miranda could enter it, one of the ghosts brutally killed her. The vision shocks Tabitha so badly that she runs out crying in terror, without realizing Fatima is trapped behind the hidden door inside the cellar the entire time. Ellis tells Boyd that he is starting to suspect Elgin. Boyd immediately informs Donna, and both of them go looking for him. They find Elgin secretly packing food and supplies for Fatima and trying to leave quietly. Boyd stops him and drags him into a room for questioning. Inside, Boyd demands to know where Fatima is. But Elgin refuses to answer and keeps saying that an angel is guiding him. According to him, once the child is born, everyone will finally be able to escape this village. Sarah tries convincing Elgin that it is not an angel at all, but one of the ghosts manipulating him just like they manipulated her before. Still, Elgin refuses to reveal Fatima's location. That's when Boyd completely loses patience. He sends everyone outside and starts torturing Elgin with a hammer. Danny suddenly comes in and stops Boyd before things go too far. Everyone walks downstairs arguing, but Sarah quietly enters the room alone. A few seconds later, Elgin screams in pain. When everyone rushes back inside, they are horrified to see Sarah has stabbed Elgin in the eye. Sarah calmly says that Elgin finally revealed where Fatima is being hidden. Meanwhile, inside the cellar, Fatima's stomach has grown unnaturally large. By now, she fully realizes that whatever is inside her is not human. In panic, she tries tearing open her own stomach to remove the baby herself. But suddenly the ghost woman that Elgin keeps seeing appears and stops her, telling her that it is finally time for the baby to be born. The creature then delivers the baby from Fatima's body and carries it into a dark tunnel underground. At that exact moment, Boyd and the others finally reach the cellar. Ellis and Kenny quickly rescue Fatima, but Boyd secretly follows the tunnel alone to see what is happening inside. Hiding in the darkness, Boyd watches in horror as all the ghosts gather together around the baby. The ghost woman places the baby in the center, and then something impossible begins to happen. The baby rapidly grows bigger and bigger until it finally becomes a fully grown adult. To Boyd's complete shock, it is the exact same ghost Boyd killed back in season 2. All the other ghosts surrounding it begin smiling happily, as if one of their own has finally returned. Jade and Tabitha collect all the papers hanging from the bottle tree and try to understand what the numbers written on them mean. When Jim sees them, he suddenly realizes the numbers look like musical notes. Since Miranda loved music, they think she may have left this behind as a clue. Strangely, Jade somehow already knows the tune without even learning it. So he takes a violin to the bottle tree and starts playing the melody. The moment the music begins, the children in white slowly appear around them from every direction. One of the children walks toward Tabitha and whispers only one word: remember. Hearing that suddenly triggers something inside Tabitha. She runs away, crying while Jim chases after her, confused and demanding to know what is happening. Then Tabitha finally reveals the horrifying truth. She remembers everything. She and Jade have already been in this village before, again and again. Miranda was not just Victor's mother. She was actually Tabitha in a previous life, and Christopher was Jade's previous life. That is why both of them keep returning to this village in every lifetime. Every single time they try to save the sacrificed children, and every single time they fail. The people who sacrificed those children long ago are the same immortal ghosts still roaming around the village even now. Jim walks away into the forest, completely disturbed after hearing all this. Suddenly, Julie comes running toward him, screaming that he is in danger and needs to get back to town immediately. But Jim is too confused to understand what is happening. Julie desperately says she has been trying to change the past somehow and tells him to run before it's too late. Then suddenly an old man wearing yellow appears in front of Jim. Calmly, he tells Jim that Tabitha made a terrible mistake by digging the hole under their house, and that she should never have done it. Before Jim can even react, the old man brutally kills him. And with that shocking moment, season 3 comes to an end. Did you notice something strange here? Julie's hair suddenly looks completely different in this scene, almost like this version of Julie is from another time itself. So, what exactly is happening here? Is Julie somehow traveling through time, trying to change the past? Looks like the mystery is only getting started. See you in season 4.